Heather,
Hmm.
did you know that the only way that you can get fit is if you have thousands of dollars of gym equipment in your house?
Well, I guess we're all sunk then.
And did you know the only way that you can get organized is if you go spend thousands of dollars on organizational bins?
Well, I don't even know if you can go into a store and buy those right now,
Not
can
right
you? Well,
So, well, shoot.
I guess thanks to COVID, we can't be organized and it can't work out.
No. We're up a creek without the battle.
Might as well just toss in the towel
Without
the battle.
Battle.
Nope, might as well just
Yep.
throw it in, just
We're done.
throw the hands up, give up.
Of course, you know that's not the case. We all know that's not the case, but sometimes we get so stuck in this idea of, in order to be something, I have to go spend lots and lots of money. And we're here to tell you that's just not the case.
Not even so much is it the money, that you have to have the stuff. So this should have become apparent to you by now because of everyone's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikToks of their home workouts. But newsflash, you don't need gym equipment to exercise. So just in case you didn't pick up on that from all the other sources that were in your face about it, you don't need it. You just don't. You can make do with literally nothing but what God gave you. And if God gave you lots, then you get even more.
Awesome.
I said that to someone. One of my clients once, he's starting out with just body weight stuff because he was brand new to exercise. And I said, now I have to put this in context. He's very, very funny and very sarcastic. And so I said to him, I said, well, don't you have enough weight already? And he thought it was the funniest thing ever. So then he went and told somebody else and they were mortified. They were like, she said, what to you? That's awful. And he's like, I thought it was hilarious. So so I don't mean that in a harsh way, but if you've got a lot of body weight, you got plenty of weight to move, just moving it.
Yeah. And it's not like we're trying to make fun of you. It just means that you already are equipped with everything that you need in order to get going. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to want to add things on later as you can or as you want to, but this is the number one myth about the organizational industry as a whole, is that you have to have bins in order to be organized. You have to have the containers in order to be organized. And let me tell you, like, I am on my 5th year of organizing here. You don't. Because chances are you already have enough to start to get you going. And even if you don't have anything, you don't have a single bin in your house, you can still get decluttered and you can still zone things out and put them in a home. And then as you have $3 one month, you can go get one Sterilite container. You can put something in the container. But in order to get decluttered and to really organize your space and to know where everything is going to go and to put it there, you don't have to have stuff.
Yeah.
I will say this. If you really, really, really want a well-oiled machine in your multifunction spaces, so we're talking garages, craft rooms, man caves, kitchens, anything where you're doing lots of different types of things in one space, the more equipment, the more stuff that you have, the more functional the system is going to be. But in order to start, you don't have to have anything. Just get decluttered and get things into a home, zone things out. So in your mind, you know where to look for it when you are looking for it. And then if you want to, if you see that you need some, then you can go buy the equipment. But the equipment doesn't come first. It never, ever comes. I will reach through the screen and slap you. The microphone, I will throttle you. Like, don't go buy the stuff first. You get decluttered, you zone it out, and then you go buy what you need. I guarantee you will buy less and you will buy different than what you initially thought.
I have to tell you, I almost did that. Like, oh, so I got this catalog and I was getting a new bag because I needed a new bag. And it's one of those catalogs that has all the things, all the bins and the bags and the, the little laundry things, and you can personalize them.
I
You can
drool.
put really cute things. And I'm looking through it and I was like, oh, there's laundry bins that say, wash me and fold me. And I was like, I need that. I need that because I need that. They're so cute. And I, of course, can tell when my laundry is clean and needs to be folded because it's in a different laundry basket. But I need the cute matching ones. And then I was like, oh, and they have this picture of this closet and it has all the little cubbies and it had a little caddy for you and it said hair stuff. And it had a little caddy that said something else. And I was like, oh,
that's what I need.
I need that too. I need the caddy with the hair stuff because I just need it. And because it matches all the other little boxes. And I started looking at the price and I was like, oh,
I'm going to spend so much money.
That's like $1,000 in my closet just for me to look at and think it's cute. Dang it. So I didn't, but I did buy 2 bags. I was planning on buying one, but I bought 2. Because it was cute. It's got lots of pockets.
You say the cringe.
It's got lots of pockets. Well, because, when you plan to buy one thing and you buy 2.
You buy more. That's why you have to ration how many times you go to Target.
Yeah, I've always been a sucker for catalogs. If I'm in the store, I can have self-control. But if I can just order it, it just arrives.
Yes. That's why I canceled my Amazon Prime account because I'm spending way too much money.
Well, it's the same thing with gym equipment.
Yes.
Okay. So I jokingly said you can just use your body weight, but you really can. And because of all the stuff that's happened here with gyms closing and, even with gyms reopening and people being hesitant to go back in, it's really helping people to understand that you don't need all of that. So then that begs the question, why do they exist? Why do all these different machines exist? There's a couple reasons. One is, and my favorite is, if you're injured, you need something to modify. So we jokingly in the industry call those Frankenstein machines because they, one function, Frankenstein was like straightforward, up and down. There's not like a lot of multi-directional movement.
That makes sense.
So Frankenstein machines, like a preacher curl, it does just your biceps. That's all it's designed for. And it's great for that. And if you have, for example, a shoulder injury where you can't stabilize and hold a weight with your shoulder,
then you probably
need that to stabilize your shoulder and still be able to work your arm. Or if you're a bodybuilder and you're really targeting that particular muscle group, then you need that.
Yeah.
But for your average person who's just trying to be fit and healthy, it's actually doing you a disservice because it's taking away the ability to use more than one joint and more than one muscle group. And it's specifically taking away your core. So if you use more free weights than stationary weights and machines, you're forced to use your core muscles all the time.
I just had an aha moment.
Yeah?
Because back forever ago when I was starting to lift weights, I was trying to do squats and my form was atrocious. I mean, it really was. I won't sugarcoat it. Like, it was horrendous. All right. And the trainer that I was working with at the time, this is long before I knew Heather, the trainer that I was working with at the time, she said, okay, we're going to take a step back and we're going to do some leg presses, but I really want you to go do some knee exercises on this particular equipment. And then once I stabilized my knees and strengthened my quads, because my outer quads were a lot stronger than my inner quads. And so it was pulling my knees out and throwing off my whole form, and I was going to injure myself. And so she said, okay, you really need to go work on these particular machines to really strengthen your quads. And then when we went back to squats, I couldn't do a whole lot of weight, but at least I could start doing squats, even if it was just the bar.
Yeah.
That makes a hot.
Absolutely. Okay. And especially when you're rehabbing, like when my husband had knee surgery, there's your knee, one side of your quad does the top 45 degrees of the bend and the other side does the bottom 45. Well, he needed to do just one part of it. So he used the little leg extension and he was only going halfway down because that's the part of his muscle that had atrophied because of his knee surgery. So they're absolutely useful. They're just not great for your everyday workout. They're good for very specific targeting of very specific muscle groups. And because of that, you don't need them to just be strong and healthy and have a great workout. The same thing with lots of space. People think, oh, well, I actually just told someone today, she was like, oh, I haven't been able to do very much because I have a little tiny apartment. And I told her, I said, hey, you can do all kinds of things with no space. You can jog in place and do squats in place. I mean, I always tell people you need about 10 square feet because you got to be able to stretch your legs out. If you can stretch your legs out.
Place for jumping jacks and where you can sit and stretch.
Mhm.
You should be fine, right?
Yeah. If you can extend your arms and your legs, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. So you don't need a ton of space. You just need to be really efficient with the space that you have. And you don't need a lot of weights. That's another thing. Well, I can't buy a whole dumbbell set because I don't have any room to store them. But you don't need it. I had a few people that reached out to me right when this all happened. They're like, well, I have an 8-pound dumbbell and I have a 3-pound dumbbell. And they just had this.
And I have a bottle of juice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a gallon of milk weighs a significant amount. I'm sure you got a bag of dog food somewhere in your house or cat food or something.
Just use your kids.
Use your kids. I mean, that works. I mean, my son's exactly 100 pounds. Just throw him on my shoulders so I can do some squats. But, you just don't need a ton of weights. You can actually do a really, really phenomenal workout with high repetitions and really, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to wear the muscle out. Muscle gets tired 2 ways. Once with under load and once under heavy usage, fatigue.
Load or repetition.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you don't have one, use the other. And like I said, body weight is very powerful. I would dare you to go and sit against the wall with your knees 90 degrees and just sit,
chill,
hold yourself up and see how long you last.
I don't last forever.
Because your body's heavy.
Give us some ideas of some of those multi-muscle activities. So squats is really good to get all of these different muscles.
I would say use more than one joint.
Okay, yeah.
More than one joint.
What would be some of those good?
Wall sits where you're using your knees and your hips. Obviously, that's 2 things bending. Push-ups, shoulders, elbows, wrists, not ankles. That's not your ankle. And that's also obviously core. Mountain climbers, lunges, squats. There's like 15 different kinds of push-ups. If you just move your arms in different directions, you can work a whole bunch of different muscle groups.
It's true.
Yeah, and
the day I get a tricep push-up is the day I get crowned queen.
I put those in my son's workout this last time, and he was like, "I can't even do one, Mom. Those are really smart." I said, "Yeah, they're little tiny muscles." So yeah, you don't need a whole bunch of bins. You don't need big crazy equipment, even though the matching bins are super cute. And they have a little embroidery that says hair stuff. Wash me, fold me. So cute.
It is. And it's so tempting. It's so tempting. But then we look at those price tags and that's what turns us off. And that's when we say, oh, there's no way that I can get organized because I can't go drop $1,000 for just my closet.
Right.
Let alone anything else. But I think that's going to be the homework for this week is to just understand first and foremost. Please understand that yes, while equipment can help in certain areas, it's not necessary to get started, get going, and be successful with using what you already have. So get it out of your mind that you have to go spend a whole bunch of money or you have to go accumulate a whole bunch of stuff in order to be successful. Stop it. Stop it.
Find a way to work around it.
And then go find one solution for one thing. If that means you go on Pinterest and you say, how do I do this without something? How do I do exercises without equipment? How do I organize my pantry without buying new bins? There are ways, and then ask us. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, is so that you have a sounding board and somebody to go ask. So leave a comment here, message us, email us, however is easiest for you to get a hold of us. Ask us, say, I am stumped. Give me a good idea for this where I don't have to go spend a whole bunch of money.
I have one dumbbell and it's 3 pounds and
what can I do?
What do I do with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's homework for this week, is to get it out of your mind that you have to have stuff in order to be successful, because that's just not the case. And then go proactively find a way to solve a solution without using equipment, without using stuff.
Yep.
Easy as that.
Make sure you subscribe so you know when we post new episodes. Make sure you share it, and make sure you jump on the HomeBod Podcast Facebook page and show us your workarounds, your solutions, your no bin solutions.
Your before and afters.
Yes, we love before and afters.
Favorite part of our job.
And that's where you can ask questions too. So jump on there and we'll see you next week.